Bowser's Fury is a short, experimental Mario game packaged with the Switch re-release of Super Mario 3D World, an excellent but overlooked platformer that bridges the gap between 2D and 3D Mario games. I've seen more than a few fans and critics say that they hope Bowser's Fury is the way forward for future Mario games. Bowser's Fury takes place entirely on one big map that gradually unlocks as you collect cat shines by completing discrete challenges. Think of Mario 64 or Odyssey, but instead of picking levels from a menu or jumping into paintings, you're unlocking new islands that you can travel to straight away without navigating a menu or overworld. Whether in 2D or 3D, the joy of movement has always been a critical part of Mario platformers, so having fewer interruptions to that is very welcome. This increased flow and freedom is the best part of Bowser's Fury. Unfortunately, that's not the only experiment in the game. Some of the people I've seen praising the game are conspicuously silent about its main conceit, giant angry Bowser. And I think that's because the worst part of Bowser's Fury is Bowser's Fury. Bowser is mainly an inconvenience in this game. Experienced players won't have much of a problem, but average and lower skilled players who just want to focus on the platforming will probably find him an unwelcome intrusion. Bowser might hurt you or kill you, but given the low penalty for death and the abundance of power-ups, that's ultimately more of a nuisance than an engaging challenge. Throughout the game, Bowser awakens to wreak havoc. The world transforms with dark storm clouds, fire raining from the sky, and Bowser attacking with fire breath. You can temporarily get rid of Bowser by collecting a cat shine, or by getting a giant cat bell power-up that allows you to take on Bowser in a ridiculous Godzilla-style monster fight. Alternatively, you can do nothing, and Bowser will just go away after a short time. Bowser's fire attacks are threatening because they can obscure your view, and not so much the actual damage. I died or messed up on a number of occasions because I lost sight of Mario behind the flame wall. Scattered around the world are blocks that can only be broken with Bowser's fire breath. When Bowser shows up, your best course of action is to either ignore him and keep doing what you're doing, or else to kite him into position to break those blocks. If you're too far from the blocks, then you're out of luck until the next cycle, because Bowser doesn't stick around very long most of the time. This means that some objectives depend on you waiting for the right conditions, and when those conditions arise, you need to drop what you're doing and go find some Fury blocks. It would be okay if this only happened a couple times, but they seem to be all over the map, with almost every island hiding a cat shine behind them. To progress, you not only have to collect cat shines, you also have to fight Bowser as Giant Mario several times, although the game isn't very explicit about this requirement. The Bowser fights are awkward to play. Giant Mario is sluggish and unresponsive compared to normal Mario. Ironically, Bowser is much more mobile and can jump much higher than you in these fights. More than Bowser, I feel like I'm fighting the camera. It can be difficult to keep Bowser in your sights, partially because Mario takes up so much of the screen, and partially because the camera, even on its highest sensitivity setting, doesn't move as quickly as I'd like. That makes Bowser and his attacks somewhat difficult to see and avoid. It's a challenge that can feel unfair and unfun. Given the short length of the game, the Bowser encounters represent a much larger portion than the boss fights normally do in Mario games, and that brings down the whole experience. It's not like Bowser is too difficult, the gameplay around him just isn't very fun. Bowser interrupts the best part of the game, which is roaming around this big, open, platforming playground. That interruption doesn't provide a worthwhile trade-off of interesting gameplay or fun challenge. It's a style over substance inclusion that's at odds with the game's strengths. The islands in Bowser's Fury are effectively separate miniature levels that happen to exist on one big map. The world as a whole needed something to tie it all together and really take advantage of the open world concept. That's what Bowser is meant to do. I just think it missed the mark in execution. Despite everything I've said, this is a good game. It's an enjoyable time when Bowser isn't getting in the way. Mario games have a high baseline of quality. The older I get and the more games I play, the more I appreciate the effortlessly fun design of Mario games. That's probably why Bowser's inclusion in this game stuck out to me so much. It's a clear detractor to an otherwise positive experience. As for the open world Mario concept, I'm not convinced it's the way forward for Mario. Getting rid of loading screens and level selects is a solid idea, but there are ways to do that without putting everything in a single giant map. Bowser's Fury seems to be stretching what the Switch is capable of. It runs at a lower resolution than other Mario games on the Switch, and the frame rate is a bit stuttery at times, which is rare for a first-party Nintendo game like this. I would hate for the performance or presentation of the next Mario game to be compromised in favor of increased scope. If Nintendo can come up with a better way to tie an open-world Mario game together, one that accentuates Mario's best qualities rather than hinders them, that could be the beginning of a new era for the mascot. Whether it's a preview of future Mario games or not, Bowser's Fury is worth playing, especially in combination with Super Mario 3D World. On one hand, 3D World offers an in-depth exploration of classic linear, get-to-the-flagpole Mario design, while on the other, Bowser's Fury represents the most open concept for a Mario game that we've seen yet. It's a worthwhile, if not entirely successful, experiment.